was training, it was a short build, and I put like Olympic trials, like time qualifying wise, on the as my goal, just because it didn't make sense to put anything else on there, but it wasn't rooted in like any reality that I saw within my training. My training wasn't indicating that like that was maybe possible. And then I got out there and I ran pretty well. I held up well through the race. I'm like, all right, like I think I can run pretty fast in this.
Steady long runs for marathon. So for me, that's maybe like 5:40s. Maybe you're like 30 seconds, you average maybe 30 seconds back from actual marathon pace. I feel like it builds, it's a little difficult, you gotta stay focused for that long. But it doesn't absolutely crush you coming back. So yeah, I really leaned into that during my build when I ran 2:16. And that was a short build. It's about 12 weeks total. I only got like 1 week over 85. So I think those like longer steady, I went to 22 steady. I think those long runs were like the thing that like kept me from falling apart at the end. Like I held up really well for my first marathon and lower volume. I was on like 2:16 pace until the last like maybe 4K, and then I ran 2:16:45. So I held up really well.
What's going on? I'm Travis Mahoney, live in Bayonne, New Jersey. Just gonna start capturing some more of my journey here. I ran at past 4 US Olympic trials on the track, steeplechase for all 4 and steeple and 5K for my last one. Getting a little bit older in the sport, I'll turn 36 this year, but just looking to still kind of pursue this. I just feel like I ran my first marathon, I ran 2:16, and I'm still running well pretty late into my like career, into my life. A lot has changed and where I stand in the sport. You know, I'm not solely professional athlete anymore, traveling and just running, coming home, taking a nap. I'm working, I put on some events. So just want to capture a little bit more behind the scenes of that as I pursue like the marathon trials and going after the marathon trials qualifier in this build and running at my 5th US Olympic trials. It's so different compared to 10 years ago. I guess I was still coaching about 10 years ago. I started coaching at high school 10 years ago. Absolutely loved it. Wanted to go back. I look at my high school coach with like very high regards and respect for what they did for me. So I kind of wanted to pay that forward. But yeah, just like I've become like all consumed with running. My wife likes to joke that I don't say like no to anything, and I'm kind of like jack of all trades, master of none. But I work for my buddy's company, Metal Awards Rack, so I do like their advertising and things like that. But then I also put on a few events, put on the Monmouth Mile. I did like an NIL with Nike and my buddy's running shop, the Outpost Running, last year, and I do a couple events with him as well. So, and then I coach, high school kids, marathoners, maybe first-time marathoners, and I have a couple like post-collegiate pro guys, you know, whether it's running at USA's or trying to qualify for USA's. So a little bit all over the map, but you know, the overarching theme is running. So yeah, I really love it, and it's probably what keeps me going and motivated to get out the door to run and like stay involved in the sport. Yeah, I'm still pretty confident that I can run really well, and I think for me, it's like setting the goals are a little bit different, and setting the goals where it's realistic that I feel like I can achieve, but it's still balanced enough in my life. Like I can't do like this full commit where I'm running like 110 miles a week, 120 miles a week with like everything else I have going on. Like I understand that, and I have to limit myself, but I still think just based off of my 2:16 performance and the build I had for that I can run in that like 2:12 range. I think that would be a really good goal for me, and something that like I could be really proud of and kind of hang my hat on. Yeah, I'm my own coach. I like to coach myself and kind of be a little bit of a guinea pig as well in terms of like training philosophy. In 2024, building up for that last trials, I coached myself and like trained solo. And I leaned a little bit into like the science of things. I built my own training model around my work. I couldn't do double threshold, which is super popular, but I was doing 2 within a week. And it led me to like arguably one of my most consistent seasons. I didn't perform that well at trials, but I ran my 2nd and 3rd best steeplechase times ever, my 2nd best 3K time, and I PR'd in the 5K by 10 seconds. So, and I do like to experiment a little bit on myself of different training, I guess, like new waves of what training is, and applying it and see how that feels and see like the response I get. So yeah, I'm training myself again. I trained myself to 216, and I plan to do the same for this build.